This is what government is. It's a giant facade, and it really is built on a house of cards. And there's the house of cards falling right there. I want to go to this first clip, and actually tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary.
This is one of the most beautiful moments in recent history, and probably helped significantly impact the outcome of the 2016 election.
It really is, because this is Hillary at a 9/11 memorial.
Like, this does not
holding up a metal post.
This is not a person who's fit to hold office.
And there she goes.
My favorite analogy for this is people saying she's thrown in there like a slab of meat.
In fact, that was what one of the Secret Service personnel said. We had to throw her in like a slab of meat. That was the report that came out. And then she was hidden away for a few hours. She popped out a little bit later and went to the little girl. Hi. Probably got some little girl sick because she supposedly had pneumonia. Oh. That's what she wanted us to believe, that it was pneumonia. She's over it now. It's no big deal. And it just illustrates this is what government is. It's a giant facade, and it really is built on a house of cards. And there's the house of cards falling right there. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the clip that I think took down Hillary. What's interesting is that it was a Democrat who shot that clip. He was a Democrat. He was an immigrant from Poland who was actually a big fan of Hillary. And he saw her there, so he started shooting this footage. And then he saw her almost fall over, put it on his Twitter feed, and, you know, even we got 1 million hits off of this thing after it went viral. And we weren't even the number one.
They tried to suppress it at the beginning.
They definitely tried to suppress it.
Pulling down links that day, and then
they said, oh, it was hot. It was real hot that day. Everybody was sweating.
It was like 85 degrees, if I remember right.
I think that was at the hottest that it got. But there she said, before and after videos show Clinton stumble at 9/11 memorial. So they had all this stuff that they were throwing at us going, Hillary Clinton's going to win. She's the best. Don't look at this. It was hot outside. She's got pneumonia. It's no big deal.
Oh, my God.
Here comes Alex Jones.
The Secret Service told us a month before she was collapsing every day. Watch the black ambulance. We broke a month before that she was collapsing.
Yes, exactly. So when we were in Cleveland, we met with some Secret Service contacts who met with us. And they were telling us, hey, watch Hillary. Watch Hillary. She's not doing too good. And sure enough, we started watching her. Sure enough, things started happening. She started stuttering. She started having weird eye movements. She started collapsing.
When she's wearing those anti-seizure glasses right there.
Here's the article, September 13th. It was 2 days after she fell. Hillary's ex-Secret Service agent, there's something seriously wrong with her. We had Millie Weaver and Gavin out at a rally in Ohio where they actually brought in a gurney, and they were freaking out. There were Hillary personnel freaking out, going, oh, my God, let's get this thing in here. And we were the people who caught it. We caught him another time coming into a gymnasium, going into the back room. Then they had her sequestered in a tent at another location. There was something seriously wrong with her. Now she's announced, you know, she has this big excuse video, which I want to go to right now, how she relied on prayer, yoga, and her fair share of Chardonnay. So this is Hillary Clinton a year later, in her own words, on the heels of her anniversary of her collapsing, just like the House of Cards that the Democrat Party is. Let's roll that clip.
That was devastating. I didn't think I would lose. The two best politicians I know, my husband and Barack Obama, did not think I would lose. And so when it happened, it just threw me back and threw me onto my own internal resources.
Can you change the background back to winds?
I knew that I had to get up the morning after the election, and I had to demonstrate the kind of personal composure and strength in order to deliver a concession speech, but to do it in a way that, you know, wasn't bitter or angry. And I tried very hard to do that. And I also tried to make it clear that we all hoped that the new president would succeed, that we wanted to give him a chance. But as soon as Bill and I left that stage, I just, you know, really felt the whole weight of it on me. And we were in the back seat of the car on our way back to our home. I couldn't speak. I couldn't really have any internal resources left. And so when I write in the book about getting through that period, I relied on several tools, one of which was prayer. And I was lifted up and blessed by a lot of people who sent me prayers, sent me spiritual readings. I also had the support of my family. I got to see the world anew from the eyes of my grandchildren. My friends rallied around and were so supportive. I did some yoga. Try alternate nostril breathing. I highly recommend it.
Good job. That one's
Kind of
tricky.
calms you down.
That one's tricky.
And yes, I had my fair share of Chardonnay. So.
And of course, we had the reports coming out that night of the election that she was miserable, getting drunk, yelling at people, just really having a hard time being a sore loser because the polls said, we're the winners. We have the hubris. We have the high ground, Anakin, everything. They were everywhere. And in the end, they couldn't pull it off because it was fake. It was all fake. It was all fake news piled on top of a fake candidate who was propped up by the system
Fake
of the
primaries.
Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, fake primaries, everything. It was all fake. And it's no surprise to me that she didn't win.
No, it's exactly. And, you know, she's doing this whole religious angle too.
Oh, yeah.
Because now she's trying to say she wants to become a pastor, some, you know, religious figure.
Well, I thought she was a Wiccan. I thought she used to fly out from D.C. when her husband was the president, Bill Clinton. She used to fly to California once a month to go to these witch rituals. Isn't that
it's
what
the
Larry
Clintons-
Nichols said?
It's the Clintons we're talking about, so.
Oh, yeah, she relied on well, that would make sense, though. I'm going to be a pastor. I'm going to steal more people's money. I'm going to take it away. Oh, and there it is. There it is. Yeah, they had so much hubris. They had printed the magazine cover. We just pulled this off our wall. This is on our wall right now next to the Trump flag. We should tweet out a picture of that during the break.
What happened? This happened.
Yeah. What happened, Madame President? There it is. This was sent to newsstands, and they had it in the back, packed, unpacked, ready to go. People were pulling it out and tweeting pictures of this. And then, of course, Donald Trump won. Oh, wow. What are we going to do with these? These are now collector's items you could buy on eBay. So that's Hillary Clinton. That is the rise and fall of Hillary Clinton. She has now resorted to drinking and prayer. I don't know what she means by prayer. Spiritual readings, spirit cooking, maybe? Maybe throwing semen and feces on the wall.
Exactly. And like she said, some yoga. You know, she has 30,000 emails just pertaining to yoga and organizing weddings.
Oh, yeah,
allegedly.
right. That's all it was.
So, yeah, nothing
Oh,
else
I didn't
in
even
there.
get that joke. That's the joke she was making. It was just about yoga poses.
Yeah.
Because she made that with her server. Oh, you mean I wipe it with a cloth?
Yeah.
I wipe
Oh,
my
and it's full
server
of
down?
Yoga and organizing Chelsea's wedding.
Exactly.
Which, hey, now that some other third world countries got run over by a hurricane, they might be able to organize some more weddings with the Clinton Foundation.
Well, I heard a rumor that she was going to send her profits of her book that nobody's going to read to the people of Haiti. And I'm like, that's a slap in the face of the people of Haiti. You're not even going to send them anything. There's going to be no profits.
Yeah, the book's not going to sell, for one, unless they do this thing where they buy a bunch of copies themselves to get it up in the rankings, which people used to do that with music albums too.
So it just goes to show you out there, do not believe the hype of what is being sold to you by the mainstream media. They're going to sell you one version of events and their version of events, and that's all. They did not want to see Donald Trump in a presidency. That is why they're trying to tear him down. And I don't agree with everything he's done at this point, but he's leagues better than Madame President. So just thank your lucky stars that we're not dealing with Madame President and Hurricane Irma. We're just dealing with Hurricane Irma.
Exactly. Well, and speaking of, you know, the response to these hurricanes, people already on the ground before it hits. They already have, you know, FEMA and the state and local governments already set up with these command centers to take care of things. And that's how they did it in Texas too. Trump was down here, you know, getting things done, working with the governor.
Well, they weren't stopping people from helping.
Right. Like
there
they
were
did with
stories that
Katrina.
Hurricane Katrina, and this is George Bush, so this is a Republican, where they were telling Walmart was sending shipments of water, giant trucks of water, and they're saying, no, it has to go through the right procedure. There's no right procedure to give people water. You pull it out of the truck and you give them water. And that's what they did here when they had trucks lined up that were HEB on the road. They were just ready for the hurricane to pass, and they came on in and brought supplies.
Yeah.
So you got to take that with not with a grain of salt, because that is how the days that we're living in now, of people actually taking responsibility for their actions, not just passing the buck, which we saw with President Clinton, or Madame President, right there. We have her passing the buck over and over again, blaming the polls blaming, and now she's blaming
it was Russians. It was
Yep.
Was it racist memes? It was Pepe's fault.
It was Pepe. It was Bernie Sanders supporters, and then it was the Electoral College.
Well, they continued to do that up to the election and then passed it. Every couple weeks they'd come out with a new thing, and they ran with the whole Russia thing for a little bit longer than some of the other made-up scandals that they've come up with.
And
that's a good one.
There was 91% chance to win, and I remember watching that graph that they had going, watching it move from Hillary.
That was on the New York
to
Times
Trump.
also that night.
It was.
When people tell you, oh, the New York Times isn't fake news.
Well,
Okay,
let's go to this
91%
last
chance to
Hillary
win.
Clinton clip. Hillary Clinton refuses to take personal responsibility for yet another one of her failures. She doesn't even apologize for calling Trump supporters deplorables. She thought that was okay. So she still thinks that's okay, and here she is.
Have done a better job of demonstrating, I get it.
There were some memorable verbal gaffes, too.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Why do you think that word deplorable had been circulating in your mind?
Well, I thought Trump was behaving in a deplorable manner. I thought a lot of his appeals to voters were deplorable. I thought his behavior, as we saw on the Access Hollywood tape, was deplorable. And there were a large number of people who didn't care. It did not matter to them. And he turned out to be a very effective reality TV star in our presidential campaign.
When you said basket of deplorables, you energized.
No, but they were already energized.
But you offended some people who didn't personally feel deplorable at all.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I'm sorry I gave him a political gift of any kind.
It was a gift.
But I don't think that was determinative.
It was very interesting. They've wheeled out another fossil to go after Donald Trump. First, it was Tom Brokaw attacking Alex Jones and Donald Trump, and now we have Jane Pauley being wheeled out. I guess out of retirement. They're just trying to do whatever they can to continue to stir this up. Look, we have Jane Pauley. Even she's going to talk about talk to Hillary.
We have these, Watergate journalists on talking about how this Trump scandal. It's like, oh yeah, let's talk about how Hillary and her relation to the whole Watergate thing and how she was fired because of it.
Exactly. And we could sit here and beat on Hillary Clinton all day, but tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of her collapse. Let's show it one more time, and then we will move on to the rest of the story. You guys have that one again?
A slab of meat.
All right. Yeah, it just really, I wish we could play some music with it. Like, you know that song where they're like,
Move It Like Bernie one.
Yeah. Walk Like Bernie. It was based off the Bernie's
Weekend at Bernie's.
The Weekend at Bernie's series.
Where
yes.
The guy's dead and they're just carting him around.
And that's pretty much what you have here. Hillary being carted around. We didn't delete that clip,
Then
did
she
we?
disappeared to the woods.
There it is.
She disappeared to the woods after.
There she goes. Oh my God. Hold her up. Throw her in. Oh. And right here illustrates the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign right here. Staggering, 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 and a fall.
I think it was Ben Garrison that made an excellent cartoon about this one too, where they're just, dragging her and she looks like a corpse.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what you have with her. The campaign was too much for her.
Let's go to Debit in Florida. Debit in Florida, you're on the air.
Great. Hey, thank you so much. Listen, I have bought your product, and I gotta say they're amazing.
Thank
Anyone
you.
who's on the fence, buy it, because I've got Caveman, Superman Vitality, Secret 12, Vitamin Mineral Fusion. I've got the body armor.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
You're the type of listener that makes it all possible. Which nutraceutical does you like best?
I really like the Vitamin Mineral Fusion, to be honest. That's
It's amazing.
really incredible. I drank it in the morning, and I swear to you, I felt incredible. Like I haven't felt in weeks. My morning was fantastic, and I love you guys. I love the InfoWars crew, and I just want to, I want to take this opportunity to tell anybody out there who's on the fence. Just buy it. You will love it. I'm telling you, I've never bought a bad product.
What you find in our news is the same thing you find in our products at InfoWarsLife.com. It's a win-win, InfoWarsLife.com.